For this video, we're going to be looking at solving multi-step equations. So looking at this first one, I have 4 times 1 minus x is equal to negative 16. So there's really 2 different ways that you can solve this. I'm going to go ahead and show it using distribution first. So my first step here would be I would distribute this 4 inside. And so I have 4 times 1 to get 4. And then 4 times negative x to get negative 4x. It's equal to negative 16. Subtract 4 from both sides. And so I get negative 4x is equal to negative 20. And then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 4. And so I get that x is equal to 5. Another way that you could do this is to go ahead and divide out the 4 in the very beginning. And so if I do that, I would go ahead and just divide 4. And I can do that because this is being multiplied together. So there's really 2 terms here, 4 and then 1 minus x. So I can divide that 4 out. And so all I'm left with on the left-hand side is 1 minus x. It's equal to negative 4. Subtract 1 from both sides. I have negative x is equal to negative 5. And then I can divide both sides by negative 1. And I get that x is equal to 5. So either way works. You'll get the same answer at the end. So it's whatever way you prefer to go about it. Looking at this next one, it looks a little bit more complicated, but it's really not going to be too bad. So I have 4m plus 10 over 5 is equal to 14. So if I have a problem that looks like this, my first step is I want to go ahead and get rid of my fractions. I wanted to multiply both sides by 5 to undo that division. And when I do that, those cancel out. So all I'm left with is 4m plus 10 on the left-hand side is equal to, and then 14 times 5, which is 70. And now I can go ahead and solve this like normal. So I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. And so I get that 4m is equal to 60. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And I get that m is equal to 15. Okay, go ahead and pause the video. I want you to try and do number 3 on your own. So the answer you should have gotten here was m is equal to negative 12. First step here is I went ahead and multiplied both sides by 7 to get rid of that fraction. And then I subtracted 8 from both sides and divided by 3. Okay, this next one's going to be a little bit more of a longer process. So here, whenever I see parentheses, I know I always want to do that first. And so I'm going to go ahead and distribute this negative 4 into these parentheses. So when I do that, I get 26 is equal to 6y. And then here I need to be careful because I'm really distributing a negative 4. And so I have negative 4 times y to get negative 4y. And then negative 4 times negative 4 to get a positive 16. I think the most common mistake I see with students is they forget this second one is also negative, and we'll a lot of time get a wrong sign here. So be careful when you're distributing a negative number. Okay, and then next I want to go ahead and combine my like terms. And so when I do that, I want to do 6y minus 4y, and I get 2y. Subtract 16 from both sides, and I get 10 is equal to 2y. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And so my answer is 5 is equal to y. Okay, let's try another problem similar to that. And so here I want to go ahead and do that same thing. I want to distribute first. So I want to distribute my 2 in there. So I have 8 is equal to 3 plus 2 times 2x, I get 4x. And then 2 times negative 3, I get negative 6. Next, I'm going to go ahead and combine my like terms. This time I only have one x term, but I do have a 3 and a negative 6 that I combine together. And so when I combine those, 3 minus 6, I get negative 3 plus 4x. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. And so I get 11 is equal to 4x. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And here, since 11 doesn't, or 4 doesn't divide into 11 evenly, I'm just going to leave it as a fraction. Okay, looking at this next one, I have negative 2/3 n plus 1 is equal to 11. My first step is I want to go ahead and subtract 1 from both sides. And so I get negative 2/3 n is equal to 10. And now to get rid of this negative 2/3, there's a few different things you can do. So the first one, if you want to take it step by step, is you can first undo this division of this 3 by multiplying both sides by 3. And so you get, those cancel out, and you're just left with negative 2n is equal to 30. And then you can divide both sides by negative 2. And you get n is equal to negative 15. So that's one option that you can do. Another option is, let's go ahead, I'm going to move over here, is you can multiply by what we call the reciprocal. And so you can multiply by this fraction flipped. So instead it would be negative 3/2. And these would all cancel out, so you're left with just an n on this side. And then here you'll multiply across, so 10 times negative 3 you get negative 30. 1 times 2 you get 2. And then you end up with negative 15 on this side as well. So either way, you'll still end up with the same answer. Okay, go ahead and pause the video. I want you to try doing problem 7 and 8. When you think you have it, go ahead and press play. So the answers you should have gotten were y equals 9 and x equals negative 1.